Hi, Lori Rogers here with Rogers Real Estate, and today we're going to be talking about new construction. Alright, today we're talking about new construction and why it's important that you bring your own agent with you when you're shopping for new construction. Now, new construction is so fun. You get to pick out all of your own fixtures, you get to design it the way that you want, but here are some things to keep in mind before you start shopping for new construction. And it is very important that you bring your own agent with you to represent your own interests. Now, keep in mind that in a normal real estate transaction, we encourage our buyers to think like sellers and what's important to them. In this situation, we actually need the buyers to think like business people. And one of the things that I hear a lot is, if I bring my own agent, it's going to cost me more. And that's not entirely true. Again, think like a business person. Business people have spreadsheets for every line item, and builders are no exception. They know everything that it costs as far as tradespeople and supplies and offices and all of those kinds of things. And one of the line items is incentives that they may give to you as the buyer and real estate commissions that they would pay to your agent. So if you show up there and you don't have an agent, does it make sense that they would just simply say, oh, well, you're such a nice buyer that we'll just move everything from the commission line into the incentive line and give all of that to you? That's probably not the way that it works. When you show up without an agent, they more than likely take that commission line and put it in their pocket. The other thing to really keep in mind is, again, in a regular real estate transaction, the contract that we write, the purchase agreement, is really weighted to the side of the buyer and not to the seller. In new construction, that isn't the case. The builders had their attorneys write their own contracts, and those are very much weighted to the point of the builder. And I'll give you an example. There's a builder here locally, then they have an acceleration clause in their contract. And what does that mean? Well, as the price of materials goes up, they have the right to put that additional cost onto the purchase price of the home. So if you think you're buying a house for $550,000 and the cost of materials goes up, you could wind up at the closing table buying that same house for $575,000. But that's not the purchase price that you agreed to. Well, it is, because you agreed to pay the additional costs in building materials. Now, not that that may persuade you from buying your dream home, but it would also be a really good idea to know that up front. The other thing is that there's not a lot of built-in inspection clauses in their contract. And one of the best times to inspect what goes on in the inside of the house is before the outside of the house is put on. So being able to see things before the drywall is up is a really good time to have your home inspector through. And that way we can put in that clause to have the builder fix any of those things that the inspector might find. Now, they're not going to tell you that you can do that, and they probably don't want you to, but having a good, strong agent with you that is skilled in negotiating those things will help you get through that process and make sure that your home is fully inspected and up to par the way that it should be. The other thing that we do is many of the builders have built other subdivisions, so we may have even sold some of them on a resale basis, and we know what the inspections were like. Were there a lot of things that should have been fixed by the builder that still weren't, or was it fairly clean and they did a great job? We can also help you pick out which lot might be the best for resale. Even if you go into it thinking this is going to be my forever home, it still is a good idea to always have the most desirable lot within that community to be able to pick that out just in case you ever did need to sell it for whatever reason. And the builder, again, isn't going to be looking out for your best interest in that. They're going to be looking out for their best interest and what lot do they want to get sold quicker versus later. I hope you found this information valuable. If so, be sure to subscribe so that you won't miss any of the valuable information that's being provided. My name is Lori Rogers, and I look forward to seeing you in your dream home.